Welcome to an update on the Zvezda Star Destroyer. This is the Russian version and not the Revell version. Actually ordered mine from Russia. I got impatient. I didn't want to wait on the Revell. But been drilling a lot of holes in it. It measures out to be 2 feet long, 24 inches long. Been drilling a lot of holes in this. I plan on putting lights, and I'm going to use fiber optics. Got the little fiber optics lights, the ones that mushroom out, and there's bazillion fiber optics. I've had 4 or 5 of those in my collection for many years. When I need fiber optics, I always snatch a few strands out of it to light cockpits or interiors or whatever. But like I say, this thing measures out to be 24 inches long, and what I've done, as you can see, the black marks, and my camera's going to shake just a little bit because I got to adjust my viewfinder. Stop, hold still. All right. You can see the Sharpie marks there. That square and the little square is going to be cut completely out, as well as this one. And the way I've got it diagrammed here, it will be cut out where this point here will still be a full point, but I'm going to cut all this out, and there'll be a top rail, and the bottom rail will still be there. And I'll be doing that just on every one of them, like this section here, that cross line this way, and then comes down here and crosses here. Well, now I need to cut that whole section out, and that section and there for the fiber optics. And I tried to, I don't know if you can tell or not, see some glue residue. Let's see, get the right part. These are the parts that go in there, and what I tried to do, where I drilled the holes in them, you can see some of the holes there, but the camera will focus on that instead of everything else. You can see some of the holes that I drilled, and it got quite a few holes all along there. Let me see if I can get a better view on it here. There you go. You can see the holes that I drilled all in there. There will be fiber optics that will run through there. And what I tried to do was I glued this on just like that. I glued it on, and I tried to go back through the holes where I had drilled in this piece, and I was going to drill all the way through instead of cutting all that out. Well, if you'll notice, there's a little, barely can tell it, right there at the end of my finger, there's a hole. That was a broken drill bit. Out of all the holes I drilled out of this thing, I only lost 2 bits, and one of them was here, and the other one was my stupidity, because I was I think it was one of the parts here on the bottom. I think it was this one, as a matter of fact. I was drilling the holes out that you see here, and when I put the drill bit or the pin vise down this way and I gave it a couple of twists, I started pushing instead of giving it a couple of good turns, and then started putting a little more pressure on it, and it jumped off. I can't tell. I don't think it's that one, but it was one like this, and it jumped off, and when I was pushing down on it, it jumped and turned like that, and it snapped a bit. That was the only 2 bits that I broke, and I drilled, geez, I couldn't tell you, probably in the neighborhood 250, 300 holes in this thing. It's going to get a little bright. You can see my shuttle bay. I keep calling it shuttle bay, the hangar bay. You can see all the openings here. It's opened on both sides. I'll turn it around this direction. I don't want to get the light in the camera and make it have a moment there, but you can see opened up all these windows, or all these windows here, and opened up this little hangar bay, this section here, and of course it's not going to cooperate enough to get the lights to shine through. We'll be able to get it on there, but you can see where I drilled the holes. Drilled all those, and then in the parts, every one of the part sets, you can see all the holes that were drilled in these parts here, there, all in that one, this one here, all these. I mean, I drilled holes. Like I say, I know it's at least 300 holes, maybe a few more in here. But all the parts where I wanted, I had a couple of good pictures, reference pictures, and I went with that and just kind of used those as a guideline. You can see all the holes here. Just kind of used those as a guideline to give me a general idea of what I wanted to do and where I wanted to do it. These are the side parts for the bridge. You can see I drilled some holes in here. If I can get it to focus on those, but I drilled holes in that part, and in this one I didn't do the same on all the pieces. Didn't do a mirror image, all along on this one. I don't know if it's transferring over to the camera or not. I know it's wanting to focus on everything in behind. And I'm not going to show you all of them, but I will show you the bridge section. There's the bridge section, and I'm going to have to turn the light up to get the true effect there. Let's see what I can do. There you go, kind of give you, see if I can zoom in a little bit. There we go. I apologize for the camera shaking. I got it on an extremely long arm extended from the ceiling. But you can see all the windows there. Like I say, everything there is going to get fiber optics. These are the side parts for the bridge and everything. So it's going to get all lit up. I'm going to get the works. I know there are several guys out there building this. I'm not trying to race with anyone. I'm not trying to show up anyone. I'm not trying to compare anything that I'm doing with what anybody else is doing. If whatever you guys want to do is fine with me. This is, let me zoom back out. This is the engine section. There will be 7 flickering LEDs in this. And what I'm going to do, and I do not have one handy. I should have gotten it out. Anyway, I've got 10mm LEDs that I'm going to put in this engine, and this engine, the 3 mains. And but I don't want, and the 10 mils that I have are bright white. Well, I don't want bright white engines. I want some white. These I'm going to put 5mm blue flickering LEDs in. But the 3 main engines are going to have 10mm white LEDs. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to try anyway, is come in behind, like here's the 10mm LED. I'm going to come back in behind it with a 5mm blue flickering, and I'm going to try to see how that works. If not, I'm going to have to order some 10mm blue LEDs, or I may just make a dome, use the blue flicker LEDs, maybe put a 5mm blue and a 5mm white in there to give me the color variation that I want. I don't know yet. I'll be working with it. But all the engine is going to be flickering. And when my good friend Oren, when he and I were talking about this Star Destroyer months and months and months ago. He ordered me some parts. He ordered some stuff from Shapeways, and so he went ahead and ordered a few pieces for me, which I greatly appreciate. Unfortunately, one of them was broken in the delivery, but and I had all of them out but this one. I guess I didn't do a very good job. There it is. This thing is tiny, tiny, tiny. And like I say, unfortunately, this one here was broken. But yeah, I wasn't going to end up using this one anyway. But this is a 1/2700 scale of the Tidarium shuttle, the Imperial shuttle. Ain't that something? And also he ordered, he sent me the 1/2700 scale of the Millennium Falcon. And just give you an idea of how tiny this thing is. It's as little as my fingernail, my little fingernail. So, but the Falcon, I'm kind of thinking about doing a deal where it's chasing the Falcon. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do there. It's made to go on the back side of the bridge, but I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. But one thing I am going to use, and I say that if I use the Falcon, I won't be using this one, and if I use this one, I won't be using the Falcon. That's how it works, right? But this is a 1/2700 scale of the Tantive 5, which is the blockade runner. It is made for a 3mm red LED. Now, what deal is with this camera? I don't want to focus. I may have to do like Solomon and get me a black background. But you put a 3mm LED in there, and actually it would go, get it on camera, stupid. It would go in here, and then you would take I'm thinking 1mm fiber optic and go in each one of those holes, and the engines would light up after you get it light blocked and everything. So it would turn out pretty good. And like I say, Oren, again, I appreciate you sending these to me, buddy. It's always nice to have friends in high places. And it's just a work in progress. But I never did a opening video for this, so I decided I'll go ahead and get that done, taken care of. Got quite a bit done on the Star Destroyer. I got the superstructure all assembled. The roof is not glued down because I've still got to get in there and do some work. The top of the hull here is not glued down because I've got to go in and cut these channels out for the detail parts that's going to go in there. I've got the LEDs in the engine. I've got the bridge section here is assembled. I've drilled a hole here for fiber optics to come out, and I got a wire here because I got a strip of LEDs inside here that I'm going to show, just to give you an idea of the windows that's going to be here. I've got windows on the sides, in the front, on that side. I've got some here on the back side as well. The neck part of the bridge is I got it assembled and trying to feed the wires down through it. I got that assembled, and like I say, the hole here, and then I've got a hole right there that the fiber optics will come out of here and then go straight down into there, into the superstructure. And I will have a light source set up just for those. I'm going to use a LED and then a styrene tube to create light sources for the fiber optics. I haven't quite decided. I'm almost certain that I'm going to use, I know I'm going to use fiber optic, but I'm almost certain that I'm just going to run a fiber optics through into light tubes. That way I get good light up and everything. But what I'm going to play with is I'm going to, after I get these channels cut out and I get the detail parts glued in, I'm only gluing the detail parts to the bottom section of this hull. And then I'm going to run a strip of LEDs in behind that. And then when I close, I'll put the top back on it, and then I will see what kind of light I have coming through here. And I may be able to get by with just putting short pieces of fiber optic into the holes, and if they do, that's great. If they don't, no harm, no foul. But I'm not sure if it's going to work with the superstructure up here. I'm going to, if this light test works like I want it to, then I will implement it into the superstructure and do it the same way. Not going to be able to do the bridge that way because, like I said, I've got fiber optics in the back, on the sides, in the front, and I've even got fiber optic. I've got the holes drilled out. Let me see. Like right here's 3 of them. Got 3 drilled there, and I got, you can see on the inside here where the plastic nubs are there. That's where I've drilled out holes, but I've got holes. Let's see if I can get the light go through. There we go. So I've got holes drilled out on both sides for fiber optics. So the fibers will come in and then go down through. So I'm going to have to do the bridge, run the fiber optics all the way down. Like I say, nothing is, I've got the superstructure is all glued together. The top here will come off, okay? And I will address that. It's known to have a light leak where this top piece glues down. So I'm going to glue that down and then flip the whole deal over and go on the inside where all the seams are with tulip, and take care of all that. If you hear tapping in the video, it's raining, and my shop here has a metal roof, so it's picking up. I may have to postpone the video, but I'll show you what I've got on the LED engines here. So there we go, got that. This is what I was going to do. I was going to run 10 millimeter in the 3 main engines, and then 5 millimeters in these, but I went with 5 millimeters in the 3 mains, and then 3 millimeters in the 4 blue ones here. So there's 3 white and 4 blue. So I'm going to go with that. I've got to go in and diffuse the light in the main engines, because when you put the bells on them, there's too much of a pinpoint, and I want to diffuse that. I don't want you to be able to look down and see the LED in there. Here it doesn't matter because there's a collar that goes on there, and that'll work out. There's a collar that goes on each one of the blue engines there, so that'll work out. And I will set this up here real quick and show you the bridge. So here's what the bridge is looking like, and it's going to get just a little dark. I'm going to turn this big main light out, so you can see all of those will be fiber optics. And like I say, I got some here on the side and on the other side, and even on the back here. There's a few on the back. I may try to do the fiber optic, putting it through, but what I'm wanting to do is I want to be able to paint everything and then put the fiber optics in it. That way I don't have to worry about trying to get in close and nipping off the fibers and stuff. And yes, you do see light leaks because that is not sealed down. I just got that strip of LED in there. I may be able to put LED in there, and like I say, and be able to put the fiber optics in it, just the short pieces, but we'll see. So just gonna set that down. I ain't gonna worry about trying to put it back together. And I got the base done. I've had the base done for quite some time, and I can't really show it too well. There's the emblem. that will be, you can see where it's boogered up around that. That's because I've had it mounted on there to see. And the ship is nose heavy, even with the brace there. So I've got to be able to lift that nose up. And what I've done is I created a piece that will go up under the front of it. And I've got to put I got a clear acrylic rod that I'm going to put in it. But I'm going to drill a hole right in here and then put a piece of wood underneath of it here, so it will only go through all this wood is the same thickness. It's 1/2 inch MDF. So when I put the block of wood there, after I get the hole drilled, well, this will only go down so far, and then that way I don't have to worry about it slipping all the way through. And I'll just clip off, after I get the ship on the stand or on the base here, I will clip it off and get it adjusted just right. Like I said, I've had this base done for quite a while, and I've boogered up a few spots of it just from moving it around. So I'm gonna have to go in and put me another satin coat on that. But that is it for the moment. Like I say, I've done quite a bit of work. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to cut out all these channels, and there's only certain parts that I'm going to leave up to to support the detail parts, and it's going to be sections that I'm going to have to put the piece up there and then mark it where there's no lights, and then I'm going to have to cut the because it's half and half. You got half of the ridge on the bottom, or half of the support on the bottom, and then the other half is on the top. So I got to go in there and cut them out on both sides, or both parts, top and bottom. This is how I'm going to run the lights, the L brackets, and one continuous run of LEDs all the way up. I kind of got it pinched to a point here. Everything will be glued in place, and then down the other side. And then I will do the superstructure basically the same way as this, but I'm going to make a little housing, more like a little wall insert, and probably going to run 2 or 3 stacks of LED tape. What I mean by that is it'll be like this would be 2 runs. I may do the third one. I will see how it looks first. Probably just going to get it and just loop it around, like 3 runs all the way around it, and then insert it and see how the lights turn out there. Inside the bridge, which is over here, I will do the same thing. I will run two strips across the front. It's going to be inside here. Get it over here where you can see it. There'll be 2 strips aimed to the front, and then 1 strip going around the side and the back, because there's just a few fibers in there that's going to be lit. So and then I'm probably going to just stick an LED in the neck of it, so I can get you can see the 2 holes there, actually 3 holes there, and then 6 on this side. Don't know, I may run a small strip of LED tape in there. So, but that's how we're working it out. Everybody will go again. That's how I am working it out now. So I just wanted to show this before I got too far. It would answer some questions, but I'll have more to it. So okay, I'm on handheld mode here because this thing is just too big to be putting on a tripod. That's the thing right there that I pull it down and put my phone on it. That's how I video everything. This is the first coat of the Stynylrez Res Black Primer. This primer lays down, you can see it just lays down extremely smooth. And I will zoom in on some of this over here. I mean, it doesn't cover up any detail. It airbrushes on, and I'm telling this for the people that don't know about the Stynylrez. It's an acrylic base primer. I mean, the detail like I say, it lays down so smooth and so thin that it doesn't cover up any of the detail. And this is what I used on here. This is just one coat of the Stynylrez Res, and it's the black primer. Yeah, I had to look and see, make sure right there, black primer. It has become one of my favorite primers. I've got the black, gray, and the white primer. Don't use the white as much, but I will be using it on this build. And a lot of times I use it like paint. So I mean, as you can see, it does a fantastic job of coverage. And one thing on the Stynylrez Res primer is it's airbrush ready. You can take this and it's already pre-thinned. All you got to do is shake the snot out of it because it will settle in the bottom. So just give it a good shaking, pour it into your airbrush. You know, it's got the little flip top lid, and you squirt some in your airbrush and go to town. You spray what you need to spray. And as far as cleanup, I have a mixture here. You can use Tamiya thinner if you want. Any of the airbrush thinners, airbrush cleaners will work. This I use as a cleaner and a thinner. This is a concoction that I mixed up, and you can get this. Gilbert Mondragon from Red Dragon Model Works has a tutorial on this. He calls it his Jesus juice, and this stuff really works good. I don't pay out the money for the Tamiya thinners and stuff. This works excellent. It has thinned everything that I have possibly wanted to thin. This is a mixture of distilled water, 97, I think it's 97% isopropyl alcohol, and Glass Plus. And, or did I say Glass Plus? Anyway, let me go over that one more time. 97% isopropyl alcohol, Glass Plus, distilled water, and there's just a drop or two of glycerin in here to slick up the airbrush. But I use this and use very little of it to wash out your airbrush, you know, so it's an easy cleanup. If you want to make some of this stuff, I'll see if I can find the link to his video and put it down in the comment section or in the description, and you can have at it. So, and got all the, and you can see on here I've got to go back in and repaint. Like I said, just had a rough coat on there, but I got all the parts on it. Here I'm looking for it in the other place, and it's right here. Got the bridge section is all primed up. Like I said, I'm going to go back in and hit it with another coat, and the top will still come off, so I can get in there and do my lighting and everything. But this is the base color, and then I'm going to go in. I don't know if you guys remember the Aztecing that I did on the Star Fury, but I got my Aztecing sheets printed up here, and this is a smaller pattern, a lot smaller pattern than what was on the Star Fury. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna lay that down, and that's going to be my hull plating, if you will, and then do either a white or a light gray. I'll probably go with light gray as the final color. And I'm gonna have to pause for a minute because it's starting to rain. Maybe it'll slack up. I'll continue. I apologize for the noise. I'm in a metal building, and now it's raining, and so the rain is hitting the roof, and you can hear the tapping on there, but it's letting up now. But anyway, like I said, I'm gonna do the Aztecing and then come back in and do a probably a light gray. I'm gonna do the Aztecing probably with the white, and then come back in, and I may mix the two there and get me a really light gray to cover it. We'll see. And that's pretty much it right now. I've got I put masking tape on everything that I didn't want to get paint on. That way I've got a really good gluing surface. I don't have to worry about trying to scrape all the stuff off and everything. And that hangar bay there, you can see the holes in it. that'll have really bright lights in there. And what I'll probably do, you really don't have to light block anything. And I'm holding it up in front of the light here. I'll have to hit that again, but it's pretty much light blocked. It seems like I got a little issues around that ball there, but so this, like I say, it'll be all light blocked on the outside, and I'm not going to have a whole lot of lights, exposed lights, that will need to be light blocked anyway. I will go on the inside of this and prime all that top of that hangar bay really good, and the smaller one up front there, because it's going to have really bright lights, and that way it will I don't have to worry about having any light bleed through. I only want it to come through where I've got the main windows cut out. Now some of these sections, and I'm going to call them pods for lack of a better term, but like these raised indentions here, this one doesn't have it, but here, and let's see, it's this one, this one, and this one, and there's some on the other side. What I'm going to do to light those, you've seen how I was running the still got my little L brackets, and you've seen how I was running the LED tape on the sides. Well, these are going to get actual fiber optics. I'm going to run those into a light source. Like I'll run fiber optic from here and this one into one light source, and then do the other side the same way, as well as this one. And trying to see if I opened any of these up. Yeah, I did. So I have some on the top. These two will be run together, as well as that one, and only got the one. So that one and that one will be together, and then that one and that one will be together. But I'll explain it more as I do it. So I'll try to do a little more video on it. But I'm trying to think. That's it. I wanted to go ahead and get paint on it, and once I get paint on it, I'm going to run the fiber optics into the places that it needs to be, and then I'm going to close it up, run all the lights into it like I need to, and then close it up, and then that way I'll be able to put the lights in the sides. And the rain's starting up again, and it's getting noisy, so I will just catch you in the next update on this starter story.